All right. Shalom, shalom. Keepers of sheep back on the highways and byways, prophesying the downfall of America, aka Babylon the Great. We are the Hebrew Israelites, prophesying to the Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. Before we begin, we'll first start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High. Yahweh, double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, Shalom, and Shalom to the hope we live. All right, and as you can see, today's camp title will be Pending Tea Attacks, right? Imprisonment and persecution of prophets. All right. So, of course, again, today's lesson is inspired through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shemal Shah, right? But just want to touch on the wars and rumors of wars. All right. Now dealing with Iran, America, and Israel. Okay, so while the war right now is taking forefront in Iran and in Israel, all right, soon this same war will take front in America. All right, meaning there will be militaries, all right, on the soil of America. There will be war and bloodshed on the soil of America. All right, even as it was in the time of Native Americans. All right, because when the so-called white man came over here, he came over here with war in his heart then. All right, so this is the same white man. All right, Esau Edom, according to the Bible, the same war in his heart. All right, but this time, the Lord has put the spirit of amongst these nations to stand up and fight back. All right, he's not that superpower on the earth no more. Right, and I think you did a lesson on it day before yesterday, basically saying how Trump bit off too more than he can chew. All right, kind, because while he thought he was gonna go over here, go in, knock a few presidents off, take resources, all right, take so-called nuclear weapons, all right, and get out. But it's not that easy, and it's showing you that the Most High Yahweh Bashim Shai is in charge. All right, when it says, roughly paraphrasing Proverbs, man's goings of the Lord. All right, so he went there for a little while, but the Lord is gonna prolong it. All right, he can slow it down, speed it up. But we ultimately know that this is just the beginning. All right, because we have prophecies that also have to be filled concerning the mark of the beast. All right, Revelation 13:16, famines, pestilence. Okay, and like I said, persecution of the prophets. Right.
Just beating the point home, like you were saying, Trump thought he was going to be able to go over to Iran and bully them, just do as he saw fit. But again, little does he know, like the scriptures say, the hearts of the kings in the Lord's hand, with paraphrase. So he's not gonna let them quote unquote surrender if he's not ready for that, man. Because America gotta taste that death. You know what I'm saying? They gotta reap some of that judgment that's gonna continue on into the next world war and things like that.
Somebody was drafted, they should give them regard to their kings and princesses. John, because your modern day kings are your presidents, all right, these leaders of these countries, right? These are your modern day kings and princes, all right. And we're at the point where it don't matter what Trump decides to do, and basically he doing things out of order anyway because he didn't get these bills or things signed in time to do this, all right.
This is second Ezra 15, and I started 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands."
What's the modern day sword?
Yeah, the missiles are used. Verse 16, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." God, so like the brother was saying, especially so when you got Trump, or even with the case of Iran, right? I mean, America shot a missile over there, right? They killed their so-called leader, right? But guess what happened? They didn't care. They kept on going with plans that were intact, right? And that's why they started sending missiles and bombing to U.S. Naval bases, things of that nature. You see, I mean, again, if you're on your watch tower and you're watching, you see, you know, America is not as indestructible as it claims to be, right? Because there are quote unquote Americans dying and things of that nature. So again, these are just ways showing, you know, they don't give a fuck about what Trump talking about. You know, Trump thinking again like he can bully them to do it. You know, he thought it was gonna be quick and easy. They was just gonna surrender. No, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't regard. There's no respect to persons.
And that's showing you Esau losing his power in the earth, man. All right, that's showing you a piece of Deuteronomy 30 and 7. All right, how these curses are reversing. All right, because once upon a time we was that power in the earth as a nation. All right, and then Lord He allowed these nations to do what? To overcome us. So right now you have the other nations overcoming Esau Edom, and at the same time you have what? A house divided. You have Esau Edom divided against each other, just as you had with the nation of Israel, man.
So you go to both. How the nation divided against itself, right? Even with the mega, right? The mega people, right? Magic, Salaki. You know, they were even saying like, man, what happened to the guy that I voted for, right? What was he saying? You know, before he was right that she would go what's going on with now, right? Trump got in the office and he did the opposite of what he claimed that he wasn't going to do, right? Which is what start war, right? Gas prices wasn't going to go up high, right? And the grocery prices was going to go up high. But what's going on now? Gas, where we at? Gas like $2.90 now, right? Groceries high and all these etc. Right. So this is the book of Psalms chapter 55 verse 21. It said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Right. So he was saying all these smooth things before he was elected. But now that he is elected, what he's doing? He calls the Lord. Right. He's that cruel Lord that we believe that he's that cruel Lord that we're talking about out there tonight. Why? He want to go over there and conquer and things and said, like he was saying, he wanted Iran, he wanted that war with Iran to be what, just a few days. But now it might be a few weeks. But then it's gonna be a few months. And then what is it what's related to? Or three. Right. So I'm gonna finish off Psalms 55 and 21. Say the words of his mouth are smoother than water. The Lord is heart. Right. That's why all these nations, right, yeah, they was on the side at first, but now they saying it's too color. Now they going against it right? He said his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, right? And you know what the market swords were? These builders that sex, right? Right at the point that I,
Just to add on, all right, it's showing you that again because he's supposed to have been the president of peace, right? When he came in, he promised peace. I think they even signed two peace treaties between Iran, not Iran, but was it Gaza and Israel, all right? And they continually bombed Gaza. So it's like, Esau don't mind making. He doesn't mind making war on his own people. All right, he doesn't mind making war on in America. All right, and that's eventually what it's going to lead to. Right now, again, while it's over there in Iran, eventually it's going to turn. I don't know if brother seen the Civil War movie, but I saw a little snippet of it. So eventually, I was going to lead to Civil War, man. Right, because Trump has his America. All right, you have the other America, right?
that goes into like those two horns. You know, that's those two separate parties. Again, this nation has been divided really since the beginning of it. You know, you had like the original Civil War, right? You had the North against the South. Right? This nation has always been divided. Right? That's why it cannot stand it can't stand the test of time when it goes to Yahweh Shalom Shakas. You know, we're not on his time. His time is not our time. 5 years is one day, 5 years. Well, you can really continue on because the point I was going to be, it really come later on. Time.
So I forgot I was like I was just speaking before like the season rule. So once you guys then might get into the live over there.
like this. Versus, this is how I explain that how we believe that he's that true Lord, right? And ultimately, he could be the one that brings, destruction to America, right? With his powerful ways and things. That's it. Like you said, his pride goes before destruction, right? Roughly paraphrase. So we grab this real quick. The book of Isaiah, chapter 54, and verse 16, right? And so, like, before I read this, Jeremiah 15:25. All right, so this I'm gonna reread Psalms 55:21. Right, so it said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but what was in his heart? His words were sunk with the oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right, and obviously, Esau being revealed at his time. People are starting to see that he's the son of perdition. Right, that son of that word perdition going into what destruction. Right, and that's what he's bringing. Right, ultimately to America. Right, and he got that spirit to conquer. Right, 'cause he sitting out here trying to make war with Iran, right, with Venezuela, right? Venezuela, because that's what he thought he was going to do with Iran, right? But now it backfired on him, right? Like the lesson I did yesterday, right? Trump bit off more than he could chew, right? Because now that backfired, things started to escalate to a higher scale, and ultimately going to lead to that third woe that speaks about in Revelation 11 chapter, verse 14, right? So, we'll read this real quick. Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16, right? And it reads, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, right? And the modern day smith would be, the scientist, right? And I'm gonna continue on, and it says, I have created smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy, right? And once again, that modern day smith is who the scientist, right? And they're the ones that put together these modern technology of warfare, right? And that wisdom to destroy all those missiles, right? Those missiles that you're saying now, and that they missiles that they are holding on for that world war, right? Because ultimately, Iran, if y'all ain't seen, China had sent over equipment, to help out Iran. So now these other allies are so going to join in, right? And now it's just with Israel, America, and Iran, right? And that was just a little conflict that's going to lead up to the world war, right? When all these other allies join in, right? So, and we'll go grab that Isaiah 19:4 real quick just to show you how that cruel Lord that Trump is, right, is ultimately going to be the downfall of America, right?
This is Isaiah 19:4 says, the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts.
He's that cruel Lord, right? That fierce king that shall rule over them. What is he doing, man? He don't care about none of what the Americans saying, right? He don't care about the other nations. He cares about what he feel like, he should do, right? Because he's a man of war. But who else is a man of war? The Heavenly Father, right? He's a God of war, right? And this is a part of His move, right? For that, America's going to go into their predictions, going to go into their destruction, right? You can read about that in Revelation, the 17th chapter, right? And many more, scriptures going into America, going into their religion, or going into war, right? So, you got to
Guys, look at Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 29. 25, read down 29. Well, I start at 25. It says, the Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. This is the work of the Lord Most High of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans.
you got to understand that the Lord, when they gave you, there was, the technology to build these weapons. But what did Esau blessing? It's the sword, but ultimately Esau blessing is also his destruction, right? And the modern day Chaldeans would be the wise men of Esau, right? And just going back into that Smith, right? That the modern day Smith, the scientists, right? And these bombs and things of that stuff. These other, allies or these other nations, they started being intrigued and interested into these atomic bombs and nuclear bombs is when America dropped that atomic bomb during World War II. Right, and that's when the other nation, they were like, oh shit, well, hey, America got this, but that mean we need to step our game up and feel the same thing. But now that the other nations have the same thing, what does America feel like? America don't like that, right? And that was so-called one of the main reasons that Trump went into Iran, right, to destroy their nuclear program that it was having going on, right? So, right. So, and who was the first ones to create those atomic bombs? The nuclear bomb? You had Germany, then you had America, and then you had Russia. Who were all they? Esau, right? Edomites, right? So, you start looking into it.
Time. Jeremiah 50, verse 25, and it reads, the Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, the Most High host, in the land of the Chaldeans. And then it says God of hosts. All right, we are the God of we. All right, we are the Most High is ultimately in control of these armies. Right, like the brother went into. He gave these scientists knowledge to make the nukes, the missiles, the Smiths. All right, even these fighter jets, man.
You ain't got nothing to do with that Revelation 64.
Verse 26, it says, come against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouses, cast her up in heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left.
All right, you go there. Look at Isaiah. Yeah, when it says there's nothing left, like they when it comes out of American trying to guess it, right? So, going into trying to write, go into all these names, and that's how you understand the Bible and understand these secrets, right? Precept upon precept, right? Because what happened, these ICBM missiles, when they hit America, right? These defenses ain't gonna have nothing when the time's come, when it's time for these missiles to hit. Because like you go into Isaiah the 16th chapter, right? They're strong archers, right? These arrows are going to hit at these designated locations that they're supposed to, right? Because why it's promised, right? And then what's going to happen, especially when we turn destiny, right?
These other nations are bragging up on their weapons, man. All right, we've been seeing it for the last 5 years with China, Russia. All right, they have these parades, these big ass nukes. Right?
Big ass.
They even bragging about how China got missiles that are undetectable. All right, meaning that they can be here in 15, 25 minutes and we won't even know it. All right, all you would know is.
Speaking of China, that's what they said. They sent those cargo ships, right? That went off the radar. Right? That went off the radar. But I seen the video on it. That's what Esau doing. Esau here making these videos and keeping us up to date. So, and we bringing it out to the scripture to show y'all, what it's leading to, right?
And that's why when the Lord say he shall come like a thief in the night, literally like a thief in the night, all right, because he's gonna be undetectable, and these missiles are gonna be undetectable, all right. And while the elites got technology, they're able to watch, all right, watch becoming the most high Yahweh, but for the rest of the world, it's no surprise, man, right? And that's how a lot of these world leaders operate, right? They have war tactics. They study the ancient military leaders to use their tactics. All right. How did they get Venezuela? They hit them at night, right? How did they get Iran? They hit them in the middle of the night. The same thing they need to do that. In ancient days, they will get us on the Sabbath. All right. They'll get us when it's cold, or they'll get us in the middle of the night, right? Like a thief in the night, literally.
Right? Like you said, these other nations, they bragging on their missiles and magnificence, right? So now these other nations have the exact same things that America have, and now America being the history.
And real quick, not to cut you off. So that's why the Lord said, pray that your flight be not in the winter time.
Right? So this is Isaiah 14:10, right? And it reads, all day you shall speak and say unto thee, art thou off the cold, you can leave, art thou perform like unto us. So now these other nations, they want America to try them, right? Even though America still had that authority over the world, right? As in a sense. Right, but these other nations have the same exact ICBM missiles and things that said this America might be high tech, right? Just because of, the Chinese and right? And the modern day Smith, right? But still these other nations have the exact same thing, if not similar weapons, right? That's why America is going to be destroyed. Why?
you had mentioned earlier going into about how World War II, when America first dropped those atomic bombs, basically at that time America was on that, well, it still is in that high seat, but they was above everybody's food because nobody was having those bombs at the time. Like you mentioned earlier, it's really understanding prophecy, right? We go into those bombs who helped, basically those scientists who helped create the bomb or the Manhattan Project. They were actually Germans. They was hiding from Hitler. They fled to America. That's supposed to be understanding. Most I put the spirit in the come because it was possible for America to be on that high seat in 17, right? Where it said they're gonna hate the war, but for his will, they're gonna get their power into that peace. But ultimately, America was put into that seat. But now, once again, America is exposed. This sport beast has been exposed fully. So now to this point of dying, now to this point where like I even mentioned, deep in the night. But that's why we have the light. Now we're able to see the fall of this place. Pride before the fall. You see Trump got so much pride in him doing this. You got these Amaleks drawing him into the war, which ultimately gonna lead up to the third war, as you mentioned, World War III, which Russia and his allies, and ultimately that's why I said Chief Prince, because of those allies, Russia it's gonna be that it's over those ones. That's why ultimately these countries not scared because they know Russia up there, Russia and China up there with them. Russia gonna be the ones who come with them. Russia gonna be the ones who really set it off fully, like gonna be the ones who really put the fight to America.
China and America. Trump made Russia right. We been saying that first time about the bottom on down, then it be ill that gonna lead America to that moment.
Saying, man, those JOOs and the small headers over there in the land, they're really the whole reason. That's the way all the wars are. You go into the elite like that right now. You go into all the elite, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all them. Right? Those are self-proclaimed, small headers, right? But again, you doing the research and things of that nature, you see, that's the whole reason that Americans are really in this war. They gotta help. Trump is obligated to help Hitler because that's their fundraiser. That's how they're funded.
I see that video with veterans that meet together. She don't want to fight for Israel, man. They don't want to fight. But those now they exposed. So now that wine ain't working no more. So Esau if Esau can't deceive you and trick you, he gonna go to his blessing, his birthright, to the sword. He gonna go automatically to war. That's what he gonna do. You got Israel telling them, hey, look, we don't want y'all to build. We don't want y'all to put this going against us. They try to come to you that they care about you, but they really want to be over you. That's why they tell you not to build. They telling Iran not to do such a thing. Iran don't want to listen. So what Esau you don't go resort to their birthright, the sword. They're gonna go straight to it. And if you don't buy it, they're gonna bring the PowerPoint. That's why they on Trump. Like, you got to get in this war. But ultimately, it's probably, I read this real fast. We got quoted Jeremiah 49, I read 16. It says, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, the height of the hill. You understand it, that's why Esau, you don't have these big buildings, these tall buildings, because they comfort them, the mountain, they comfort them caves, man, and that's their nature. That's why they love them skyscrapers, them big buildings. Right? It says, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle. When they went up into space, they never went to the moon. When they went up into space, right, putting the satellite stations and such up there, it says, I will bring thee down from thence, said the Lord Yahweh. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goes by it shall be astonished, shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and they proceeds thereof, said the Lord Yahweh. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong, but I will suddenly make him run away from her. Who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? Or who is like me? And who will appoint me? Who will appoint me the time? Who is the shepherd that will stand before me? Like Brother Missy, that's why the Lord is deep in the night. ain't no man gonna know. They could try to watch out, but no man gonna know when he come, except for the ones who on that watchtower paying attention. The ones he how much y'all gave that spirit of prophecy to see, if, and, to see the times and measure the times that we in, right? But here's the point right here in verse 20, right? He says, therefore, here's the counsel of the Lord Yahweh with Amalek, right? And even when El Apostle Rumba, he was going into it. We understand, Amalek came later. He's basically like a grandson to Esau. But he came later, at least to the flock, and that's the ones who's drawing America to this war now. That's how it's showing you signs and prophecy showing you that when we at the end times here, man, the world, third world is coming very quickly.
You know that you mentioned that. Yeah. Let me tell you, I think it's Genesis. It says who Amalek our father is and grandfather, things that nature. They'll just show you that the Lord, he said, visiting the iniquity of them in third and fourth generation. All right, because he's coming back to get that same spirit, right? This has with the nation of Israel.
I'm not mistaken, then Most High tells Saul to destroy all this, the Amalek. He's coming to watch him out, man. He coming. He gonna leave me the root of a branch. So he gonna watch him out this time. Ultimately, now it's just like seasoning the pot boiling. You can see all of it cooking up to where like that's basically how we've seen Jacob's trouble coming in, how it's coming in. It's coming. You might not think it's coming as fast as you're looking at it, but it's coming. This is how it is with World War III. We know World War III going to eventually. I was watching. Khan was mentioning how the Allies are playing their part in it, but really when Russia stepped into it, then we know what time. We know it is. Ezekiel chapter 38. We know that it's here. And that's the prophecy. What it says, Assembly of Nations, but Jeremiah 50.
Joel 3:2, right? I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the holy Jehoshaphat, which will be Yehoshaphat, which means the troops. Right? It says, and will plead with them, there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
Jehoshaphat, Armageddon is Jehoshaphat is Yehoshaphat, Judge.
It says that for my heritage Israel, they have scattered among the nations and part of my land, right? But the point says what? They're going to gather all nations there in Jehoshaphat, which is here in the Middle East, right? So again, like you said, this is like he's just making it up, getting them all gathered in one place to destroy all of them.
I read real fast. Jeremiah 59 says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, but America, an assembly of great nations for the north country." And we know the chief prince of that is the chief prince of Hebrew was shot off, but understand it's Russia, right? Russia is the one gonna come, but his allies gonna come with it. You got Iran, you got China, you got NATO, EU, you have African countries. You have this assembly of great nations that's going to come up against this place, and we seeing this now, right? He says they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows run to the missiles. Shall be as the mighty, shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. So we seeing these assemblies of great nations gather up and come against. So now, now it's at the point to where they how about y'all trying to put the spirit on them to hate this horde, to go against this horde. The Esau thought they could control everything for so long. That's why, Ezekiel 28, Most High telling you thought you was a God, but you are a man. Ultimately, they've been doing everything Yahweh Shah told them to do, what he set them to do. They've been doing everything to it. That's why Yahweh Shah put the spirit of prophecy, the testimony on the elect, the prophets, what he said, give them warning. Because ultimately, now when you see it, that's why the vision say in the end is I speak. Now when you see it, you start to see that everything that the prophets was telling you, the thing they would put, it was a real warning from Yahweh Shah. Now these things are at the door. And now Jake lost here. You got Jake stuck in different country things because the times are going on, but they wasn't prepared. They ain't stand that watchtower. They ain't listen. So now it's at that time to where it's gonna hit you. And when it hit you this time, that door closed. When it hit you this time, you cook.
Two precepts. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 3. Get straight to the point, right? And it reads, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Now you know, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." So you're going just backing up the brother, right? Hey, I've probably been speaking upon these things, right? And now that we seen it in the news, And now the people are starting to see that that we are where the true prophets at, right? That's why we been speaking of ugly things before they came to pass, right? Ezekiel 33 and 33, right? So yes, World War III is prophesied in the things that says we've been warning y'all about that, right? Matthew 24 chapter, right? Tell you about the war, the rumors of wars, but he said, these are the beginning of sorrows, right? And he said, wait, like I forgot let's go up. So this is the book of Matthew 24, verse 6, and it reads, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? And like you said, but the end is not yet, so you still got other prophecies that have to come to pass, right? It's like what the last one of the last major prophecies that we waited on to be made mandatory to what? The Al-Qadisha, right? The MOTP, right? So these things can't come to pass, right? Yahweh can't come to pass, World War III can't go on the upscale, until that Al-Qadisha be made mandatory, right? Because they gotta have a reason to start that war at a high upscale, right? And ultimately what they're gonna lead to, the dollar crash, whatever the case may be, that's gonna lead up to that microchip, right?
Quick point. Well, I was listening to a little bit of the lesson you guys did. When over there, you had titled Trump. Trump basically be doing too much. Titled and you see at the point now, see, they like you mentioned it, they know that they still want to enforce the New World Order. They still want to put the New World Order, they still want to push that out there, but they know that's why they keeping it cool of what they trying to put it at. Because also, America can go over there and do Iran the worst way, and stay there right now. They can go over there and do Iran the worst way, but Trump trying to play it cool because those Amalek, see, they know a little bit, but they don't know the truth not to overcome. They know what how about y'all put on them what they need to know to, hey, y'all better not go do too much when the Russians get involved right now. That New Order ain't gonna come. So they want to chill out. They don't want to. God. They want that LT, but that's how you know another point. That's coming dang it, you know what I'm saying? We can wake up tomorrow. They only like you gonna have to get this. Just how when you go to it, remember when they bombed Pearl Harbor, all like the Japanese Americans, they put them all in camps. They can use that tactic. America used order KO. They use chaos to enforce order, right? Hey, y'all gotta get this shit so we can document who really from America, where you from. Because we gotta. Hey, too much going on right now. It's a war potentially to come. We gotta know who really from this place. We got, they use those tactics to try to enforce their ways. It ain't gonna be. That's how we know Revelation 12 is that hands work. There ain't gonna be no more deceiving, hey, tricky, talking nice to you. They come with wrath. Hey, y'all get this shit. If you don't, hey, persecution.
For example, like the little terrorist shit that happened in Texas. They said that he was, a follower of Iran. You know what I'm saying? He had a shirt that said, "Prophet of Allah." And, underneath that shirt, he had a flag with Iran on it. They can use stuff like that to, like you said, with that RFID seal to say who really from here, who from there, who you know what I'm saying, tracking people. And they can get pointed to. They can use these type of little incidents and use that to control the people.
He's always behind these so-called tea attacks. Right? That's just a part of his agenda to push his narrative, and again, like I said, to push the market beast. So when he come out with these agreements or these treaties or these plans to make peace, hopefully he's just saying that, all right. And he already has a plan in place to do what he wants. Because even with this Iran situation, I don't know if you watched the interview, but he mentioned that he was just saying that the best thing for Iran to do is put down their guns and let's compromise things in nature. But the whole time he came in what? He came in gun slavery, and he kept saying that. He even mentioned that it would be American casualty. All right, so he already knew how far this would go, right? Because he knew his agenda. He knew what he had to do. So we can't. You can't trust Esau either. So when the time comes for this mark of the beast, all right, like we always preach and teach, don't take the mark of the beast. All right, because while he's preaching, while he's pushing that it's for your good, all right, you're gonna need this if you want to buy, sell, if you want to buy a house, if you want to go to school, you want to work, you're gonna need these things. But ultimately, that's a trap, man.
I got a quick picture, going into that Revelation 16:14. It says, "For they're the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth to the kingdom of the earth." That's what they do. Like they stay, like you mentioned, when it goes into it, we were Revelation 17 talking about how they drunken off the fornication or drinking off that wine or that fornication. They got these people drunk. They got them confused and deceived. Also, Habakkuk 25, it goes into that as well. You know how he transgressed by wine. He go into the kings of the earth and they pay people off. Well, we know ultimately they technology. But another thing they do is with deceiving, being able to deceive and trick. They go off and play things. A major example is 9/11. They stage things to look as it is, but it's really not that, so they can enforce their whole agenda.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but it's just an example to show you of how crafty Esau even can be. Right? 'Cause I was watching the video when it comes to this war, and he was breaking down, how Trump got involved and things like that. And again, how it made I believe that it did. Speaking as a man, Israel basically forcing his hand to get into it. And it was like the last time that that somebody had denied, helping out Israel was JFK. You know, exactly. It's a known thing that it's very highly possible that JFK was killed by his own regime or his own people. So again, those small hats having that authority that they have, man, it's really good.
Another point there goes to how that's how you know the president he's selected, because when they get into that office, they let them know like, hey, these are the narrows and things that you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do. And see Trump more fierce with, like Trump Trump pulling up like, hey, yeah, I seen the video, they was talking about how Trump told the translator, he was like, hey, tell this, I think it was Iranian leader, something like that. He was like, tell him, hey, if he touch a hair on the American, I'm gonna kill him. And the translator looking at him crazy like, you want me to tell him that? He like, tell him. Then he handed the Iranian leader, whatever he was, a satellite picture of his house and his family. Like, you have a bomb your house and your family. He got up and walked out. See, Trump, he know what he's doing. You feel me? That's why I was watching the count on LB. You brought it out. Isaiah 19:4, that cruel Lord. He gonna come and he he doing exactly what Most High said him to do. Like he owned that. I'll finish this off real fast. Yeah, I'm going to finish this off real fast. Revelation 16:14 again. There is spirits of devils working miracles which go forth to the kingdom of the earth. As I mentioned, they're doing stage things make it look like, not saying they stage that shooting or whatever. You never know how Esau is, but they'll use those type of things to go out and pay people off, do these type of things to push that whole narrative, to enforce their ways, for their law. That's how they've been deceiving and tricking people, right? It says the kingdom of the earth and the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of the power of Almighty. But the point I was bringing is how now this deceitful tactics, this wine, it ain't working no more. So we know when Russia come in,
Verse 16,
17.
Isaiah 13:7. Isaiah 13:17 says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them,
The Medes is referring to the Russians, right?
which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it."
Also, we understand that costliness is a part of those miracles that got to able to make money, able to people look past America iniquity. This is fornication because America has money, bringing so much rich. Isaiah 18 goes in that we were made rich, right? But the point of bringing is how it's at a point now, as you're seeing these countries looking past all that. The countries looking past all that deceiving. The countries looking past being made rich. Because ultimately, Most High is putting the spirit on them to that. That power, that beast ain't working no more. They had this time to deceive and trick, but now that the time of their fall, now that the time that they can. Going to the prophecy, Babylon is exposed. America is exposed. Son of this, he exposed. Now everybody's seeing for who he is. He can't trick everybody no more. And the point is with these Amaleks, with these Jews, they seeing how wicked and wrong they is. The man telling them, I don't want to fight for Israel. We know the only reason we here is because I don't want to fight for them. Right? They doing all this, they doing all that. But power, I don't want to do that. This country gonna divide for that reason. It's gonna be their downfall, right? You're gonna have those ones who side with them. You're gonna have the ones who don't. But ultimately, that's the whole point of bringing up.
Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 6. I'll start off at verse 3, right? And I'll start off at verse 2. It reads that ye be not so shaken in mind or be troubled, either by spirit nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that day of Mashiach is at hand. Right? That day is at hand through what? Through the measure of the time, right? It's about the second end of the night chapter, right? Through the signs, right? Through the prophecies, right? Lord said there's gonna be wars and rumors of wars, and, false prophets, and people waxing cold, right? Hey, currently found, right? Famines, wickedness going out, right? We see these signs that Yahweh shall return and soon come, right? Verse 3, one of the right? It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that they shall not come. It says, there come and fall away for it. That man of sin, be revealed, the son of perdition, right? That man of sin is literally being revealed now. For one example is the JE Lord found, right? And who was it? And who was the main, one of the main characters in the JE found? Your so-called president, right? And they were saying that damn, the JE found that damn, that damn bad that had to start a war, right? So that's how crazy how the damn president of America is a damn pedophile. And he got pictures, right, and documents, but your president or the president of America, right, messing around with underage women, right? So this all continue on.
I saw somewhere it was saying that like name Trump was in those files like 4 times, and like word God was in the Bible, something like that. Like it's like you were saying, it's all in.
And then another point that I know brother probably watch, but I think Dr. Kenneth too, the lesson that Elder Mark Roman was doing, he was showing the video of Edomite is breaking down. I can see somebody going, DJ with this, and he was going to the Hebrew and whatnot, and things that said what he meant. And he was talking about how he's showing you how it's a hierarchy of this people who worship Satan. He was going into like how the Rothschilds and these Jews and like how Trump, and how he was mentioning, I had sent it to y'all on TikTok, the dude did a little clip about how before when the dude pushed up on the Charlie Kirk dude, he was telling him like, this country's ran by Jews. I had sent it to y'all.
Keep pushing, man. All right. He's not gonna tell somebody that's against him, right? He's not gonna put somebody on the team that's pro, or whatever, man.
That's it. That's how somebody tried to go against him. That's all I had to.
JFK could have been a J.
Couldn't do it. He might have that spirit tonight. Side to side.
So the second Thessalonians chapter 2, and verse 4, and it reads, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And you can obviously see who that's referring to, right? You go to the book of Obadiah, you go to the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and see who was out they said to be as the heavenly Father, right? Esau, Edom, right? The so-called white man. They prideful, they boastful, they feel like they got the best of everything, right? Edom, right? You gotta think, they trying to come out with a new world order with the MOTB, the RFID to be able to track your every move, to track and see everything that you buy and sell. They make it easy to fight you to see what you're dreaming about. I didn't want to know every single little thing about it. They come out with these CSG towers, right? To what? To use the word track you down, man. You know that number 6, that's how you know, man. That's his number, right? The CSG, and that's probably be the final tower that they make. Right? So this second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 5, it reads, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now you know what was motive that he might be revealed in his time, right? So back then he was revealed, right? Everybody was saying that everybody's crazy, God, yeah, he is to help us and blase. And now the people are starting to see that, and man, come time that this damn wicked, man, they're not supposed to keep, right? This damn wicked. And then all they want to do is just bring interrupt the peace upon the earth, right? You know what I'm talking about? Revelation 6. Yeah, take peace from the earth, right? That's what these devils doing, man. You can grab it. You want
it right now? In Revelation 6, verse 4, it says, there went out another horse that was red, according to Edom, right? It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
That's what you're saying right there. That these devils came to bring peace upon the earth, right?
It says that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
population versus war, right? That's why they're intelligent when it comes to the weaponry and things of that such. Is why that's his blessing, right? The Lord gave them these things from ultimate for his destruction, right?
Once you explain that to I back you up, like and that's why the Most High is gonna. That's why the Most High talks about it in Ezekiel 38. How he go, how once again, how Russia and these great armies gonna come because ultimately Esau's birthright is that sword. So there's gonna have to be a great army of people that come up against this devil because this devil got things that they don't really know about. So I said they can really go over there and pop it off with Iran and just take over. But ultimately they trying to go out with deceive, get everybody to fall in line first. They trying to get out and transgress by wine, get everybody like, look, y'all want to fight. You know, ultimately America want to rule everything, but we'll let y'all be vassal states to us, man. We'll let y'all still work y'all how y'all want to work y'all land and whatnot. Just that y'all gonna be under us. You know what they called it back then, provinces. Like you know they have so many provinces. Though ultimately this is the leader place of it. You know, and all these other places are under it. That's how America want to have it. They want to control everything. They want to have everything on the earth under them. You know, but ultimately these nations not going for that.
So Revelation 17 and 16, you just see this the other day. Right, saying the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate thee, whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right?
Oh, come on. Oh, you read it again?
Revelation 17 and 16 saying the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate thee, whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
So ultimately, you know, these nations, they hate the whore. These ones are gonna bring her down. You know, these are ones who gonna ultimately bring the end into this place because America is wicked. You gotta think what they done to a lot of these people. You know, God, you know, they pride is too high. They be running around just bullying, they be running around just bullying people. You know, these people really they tired of carrying her, right? But when you understand it, you know, you read the next verse. And the reason why these countries ain't that's why you know all of a sudden it's prophecy. Most I got everything set up. The measure, what's second Ezra 4, 44, 37. He got it measure set, and nothing gonna move until this set measure be fulfilled. When he paraphrased. So he got this measure set to how it's supposed to play out. You know, because ultimately these nations been hating the whore. This ain't just started when they talk about when Apostle John was writing about this Revelation 17. The Roman Empire is ruling, and when it came, and ultimately it came back to America. But at the time, he ain't knowing that. But we, Lord willing, we seeing it now. It's talking about America. This great whore is lying build with everybody. So ultimately, this race of the Edomite Empire, they hate this, but they hate this whore. They hate this place, right? But ultimately, they've been hating this place. But the will, right? You can read the next piece, sir.
17, it says, for the Heavenly Father have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will.
You can read it in the NLT. We're going to show you. I was just saying in the NLT, you can understand that heart goes into mind. And when you read Job 33, we read Proverbs 21, that's how you know the king's heart, the king's mind, the Most High control it. See, ultimately, Babylon was set up to fulfill prophecy, to show the world deceivers, to show, you know, because ultimately, how about you outside destroy this place? Everybody gonna know, right? Because you gotta think how many countries gonna have to come up against it now. When Yahweh Shah and the chariots come to wipe this place out, everybody gonna know who the true powers is. But that's why he put in these king's mind. Well, we can read it.
So this is 17 the NLT. That reads, for the Heavenly Father has put a plan into their minds.
He put a plan into their mind. The prophecy he put into their minds what he wants them to do. Ultimately, we know they hate the whore, but it's gonna be a set time to when they come up against this place. Remember, signs and wonders. That's how you confirm it to the prophets. How you confirm it to the apostles. How you confirm it to the elect who've been sitting, watching back, who've been searching out for that deliverance. Because we know when the fourth beast goes down, Kingdom of Yahweh comes up. So do this fourth beast bidding rule, because Roman Empire didn't go out to no fire destruction. It didn't go out like that. But on this side, America's gonna go out like, you know, he speaks about how it's gonna go out like this. You know, this fourth beast, when you read Daniel 7, it's gonna go out with fire. It's gonna go out being destroyed. Right? See, the ancient Rome didn't go out like that. It fell through economic reasons. Now it came back, and now it's today, you know, and now it's gonna go out to destruction, but ultimately all the plan, Yahweh Shah said.
So 17 from the top, NLT version, it says, for the Heavenly Father has put a plan into their minds, a plan that will carry out his purposes. They will agree to give their authority to the scarlet beast, and so the word of the Father will be fulfilled.
So ultimately, this place was raised up. What he told Pharaoh, for this purpose I have raised you up, show my power in you. Right, let me paraphrase. Right, so he allowed America to get to where it's at, and that's why you got to understand this assembly of great nations, Russia, China, Iran, and many other countries gonna come up. Ultimately, when it says Ezekiel 38 and 4, it says I'm gonna put my jaws and I'm gonna put hooks in our jaws and turn you back. Right, when you go into USSR. Back then, you look at how big it was and how fierce it was. It was that iron wall, that iron curtain, blocking it from basically dealing with these other people, other nations, right? How about Shah is going to turn it back into that, where you're going to have all this conglomeration of these empires coming back together and coming down to bring destruction upon this world, man? Because all was the plan from the beginning. But now, once again, have look too. Now the vision is speaking. Now it's at the point to right now it's becoming vivid in their eyes. But now it's at the point where you already heard it. That's why there's no cloak for your sin, no excuse for you to say you haven't heard it.
It really, again, it just sets the scene for what's to come, the things that we go for, right? Because we want, the third world war to come. If you don't want it to come, that really means that you want Babylon to continue. Which is wicked. You know what I'm saying? You should want this place to be done away with as quickly as possible, so that way we may, Lord will have an entrance to the kingdom. So, Revelation 11, I read 14. Verse 14 says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe comes quickly." Right? That's what we're talking about now, this third woe. Right? Let's skip it down to verse 18. It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. In the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." And he's going to destroy them which destroy the earth, which is Esau. They have to be destroyed. Right? They're the ones that are making the earth poor, right? Because they have defiled everything. Everything is defiled.
Another point in there, Pat Ray, the latter part of it, I want to stage lesson. We understand it. The part there too is like Russia is going to drop bombs down on America, Israel as well, because the Most High has to cleanse our land, man. He got to get those Amaleks out of our land. Look what they doing. Look at the destruction and the war. They're making our land bloody, man. What they got going on in our land? Ultimately, they defile our land, so the Most High has to bring that judgment upon them as well. That's why I'm reading Joel 3 and 2 again, real fast. Joel 3 and 2, it says, "I will also gather all nations, I will bring them to the valley of Jehoshaphat," brother went into that earlier, "and will plead with them, therefore my people, right, for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among nations, and parted my land." When you go into Isaiah 1 and 7, if I'm mistaken, when it talks about how you have Isaiah 1 and 7 says, "Your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land strangers devour in your presence, and it is desolate and overthrown by strangers." What's going on right now? You got these people fighting our land right now, they're destroying our land, they're tearing our land up. So how about Shah is going to bring the judgment upon all of them for that? Because ultimately you understand Israel is the chosen land, Jerusalem is that chosen city. So we have to, how about Shah has to cleanse that. Ultimately the one of the most cleanest things when you put fire on it. Somebody might boil something to get germs away from it, things as such. Most High gonna bring fire upon it to get rid of the wicked that's in it, to get rid of the negative that's in there, man.
That's funny you say that. My job, we got we use the oven or whatever, and before we put the dough in, the dough going to pan. Basically, they teach us that everything, every germ, every unclean thing is gonna come out in the oven.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what dang. What is it should burn as an oven?
Yeah.
That's how you know that they ain't the real chosen people over there. This is a lot. Lord said, chosen people get over there. Why? They ain't gonna be no more war anyway. Right? What's going on? War. Right? So it's clear as day that those that aren't the chosen people of Israel.
Again, scriptures tell you over and over, it's prophecy. It's prophesying that there will be a people who are not the true people in that land, right? It's Ezekiel 36 and I just searched the point in verse 5. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, against all Idumea, Idumea being Esau, Edom, right? It says, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart. And they're happy to do it. They're prideful about it, right? Like you see commercials, you see, I've seen billboards, I've seen all these types of things. They parade around and have a sense of pride in their heart that they are, quote unquote, true people of the Most High, right?
Real quick, somebody grabbed that, let's get your point. Somebody holds that, they should think they doing God's will by persecuting them.
Jeremiah.
I'm not sure.
I know one of Jeremiah talks about, basically God said they ain't do that wrong because they have sinned against their power.
Nah. Basically, they think themselves to be good. They think they're doing it for Heavenly Father by killing them, by persecuting them. It might be a New Testament. Might be Matthew. But go ahead. What's up? Slide.
Just finishing out with the verse, right? It says, which have appointed my land to their possession with the joy of all their heart, with spiteful minds to cast it out for price. So again, these so-called Jews, JOO, people up there in Israel right now, right? They have like I said, they have a sense of pride about it because they did it with the like I said, with the joy in all their heart, right? You try to you say anything that even sounds like you disagree with them, they're gonna try to persecute you for it. They're gonna automatically call you anti-Semitic. That's what happened with Kyrie, Nick Cannon, Kanye, Amari Stoudemire. They all had to apologize for the things they were saying because they were coming against these synagogue and so forth.
I know when it says good case, like Ezra 16, they think it's good case. I know, yeah. What? Like, say one more time what it's going to again?
It's basically saying, they said, they think themselves to be doing the will of Heavenly Father. They persecute you. So basically, they gonna say they be doing a good thing, right? And this back brother Daliar, these people, the JOOs, they really put in their mind that they are the people of the Most High. All right, so they gonna take on that and think that them persecuting us, all right, persecute anybody outside of that is it look good, righteous. But,
What you get?
I grabbed Psalm 50:21. I read it reflected Jeremiah 50 and 7.
I think this is John 16. I started 1. It says, "These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yeah, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth for the service."
That's gonna be their whole message. All right. Let's make America great again. All right. Let's clean up America by what? Those who hold on to DTA. All right. And we ain't gonna say it on camera, but we all know DTA, right? So, and these Iranians, all right. All these other nations, they scream the same thing. They have the same message. DTA.
He was saying that over there. I saw like a video. They were chanting in like a conference room. There was a bunch of them chanting over and over.
So I got a quick research on that back the other day when I showed you Psalm 50 and 21. He says, "These things that thou hast done," and I kept silent because judgment just came upon Esau, so they think that they doing good work, they doing the most high work, which they are on the left hand side, but they think they're doing the righteous work, right? It says thou thoughtest that I was altogether such a one as thyself, but I will prove thee and set them in order for thy eye. So they get to a point where they think that the most high on their side, I think most high one of them think that we doing the right work, we doing the right thing. We gotta get these people don't stand with the new or these people don't stand with what we doing. We gotta kill them because this is what the most high said for us to do. This is what the most high want us to do.
You gotta think about it. That's how them Iranians and Pakistanis, that's how they feel. All right, when they go out on these dummy missions with these bombs on their back, All right, they screaming Allah. They wholeheartedly believe that they doing the will of their God, doing the right thing. All right, and hey, that's how these small handlers, these 48ers, that's how they feel. Time is gonna come. Because you gotta understand, like, I ain't gonna say Trump don't care, but as far as people in America, they have accepted us to be the most high chosen people. Why? Because it's evident. All right, we the best at everything we do. All right, we look the best, we the tallest, we cook the best, right? So it's like if the small handlers, we hate us. Why? Because they pretend to be us, right? So if they can do away with us, they can do away with our blessing, right?
They
Like he was forfeit to them, but most I don't work like that.
work like that, drawing the case set up to where they gonna do all those things, but ultimately they ain't gonna be to come against those chosen ones. They ain't gonna be to come against the ones who've been holding down from the beginning, because they done be able to deceive. They done dumb down majority of the people into deceiving and being tricked. But the point I wanted to, I seen a video, basically like a dude, he was teaching Christianity in Israel, and the other one of the Jews was cussing him out like, but it's not America, bro. You don't do it over here. Like we all so-called Jewish. Like we Jews. You don't teach that over here in our land. Like he was on a bad. Like yeah, bro, that's illegal. Like you can't do that over here.
That's how they feel. I know you probably experienced it, but even if they're in New York, all right, wherever they dispersed it, all right, like you come around, they feel like, why are you around? All right, and they feel like this is segregated for them, and it is because this is they land supposedly, right? But again, like
I thought that's how they feel about this whole thing.
right, right.
Like out here, like it's like their whole mindset is like, why y'all look what y'all here for? If y'all ain't doing us no service, y'all need to go. I need to go somewhere else. So that's a piece of motive. He feel like everybody's under his foot. Also, like you say, they think they're the chosen one. When you go to the chosen one, they know the chosen people be how about y'all shop from the beginning. It was promised that the nation's gonna be under thee. In fact, grab this real fast. What's this? Psalms 2. Psalms 2, right? And I thought at verse 6, it says, "Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree the Lord Yahweh has said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee." Somebody Yahweh shot. He said, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thine possession." So it's been promised to Yahweh shot that these heathen going to be under, which we're going to get in the time to come. But in a sense, they feel like they're those people now. They feel like they're supposed to have the heathen and everybody under their rule, under them, they gone out bad. But ultimately, in the time comes, it's gonna reveal who those people are. That's why they at the point now, because they see their system decaying. That's why they at the point now, just strictly, hey, they don't listen, swore. Hey, y'all can't build these nukes. Nah, y'all ain't on our level. Even though y'all ain't they on y'all level, they got the nukes, but y'all got to get rid of that, or we gonna come get rid of it for you. It's one or the other. Y'all gonna put it down, or we gonna come over there and put it down. That's
See, that's what the Most High did. The Most High spoiled them, man. Right? It's like with a child. It's like with a child in the world. Like you pet that child too much, when you give them everything they want, it's gonna make them rotten, right? So that's what the Most High did with Esau. He gave him everything he wanted, right? And he made him rotten.
I got a piece of this is Revelation 18, verse 7. It says, "How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously," right? They got everything, right? Everything, even when you got to think, every time America step in the war, they come through wiping it away. When America wants something, they go get it. That's how they used to it. Like you saying, with the child, you tell the child, no, now they falling out on the floor, throwing tents. Well, when you tell America, no, what they come to do? They come to take it. They pulling up, wiping you out. It says, "So much torment and sorrow give her, but she said in her heart, I said, a queen, I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow." They like, once again, they think they're doing the most high work. They think can't nothing come against them. They feel like they're God. They feel like they control the outcome of everything. Well, if this go on, we can do this. If this play around, we can do this. But ultimately, their whole fallback plan is the sword. If anything go wrong, they don't listen. We're gonna bomb them. We're gonna nuke them. We're gonna get them up out the way. That's their whole fallback plan with it all. But now, I think the brother Khan brought it out. Now it's mad. They got the mad out. This is for destruction. Now everybody has these bombs. Now everybody has these. So before we just go ahead and bring the end and just try to wipe everything out and repopulate it through the elites. right? That's how to like deceive them. That's how to trick them. That's how to make them think we on their side. That's how to make them think that we care about them, so we can get them drunk and follow after our ways. So once they fall off, they ain't got no choice but to run into us. But now these nations building alliances with each other to where they Xing America out. And America they're not playing with that. But like that child feel entitled. Well, even when the child leave the house and go to the playground, when she get to the playground, she still feel like everybody supposed to.
My ball.
Yeah, I'm supposed to play my game. Well, I want to play this. I want to do that. But the other people like, bro, girl, this ain't your mama house. Like, we do what we want to do. You either gonna follow along with us, or we gonna be against you. That's how it is with America now, man. These other countries Xing America out. But they at that point, that's how he was doing that Straits thing. When I was talking to Chat, see what Chat had to say about it. Chat was going into how Russia, China, Iran come together to stop America, stop the U.S. world dominance. They want to basically, it's called a multipolar. They want to have everybody have their own balance in it. But also we know America not going for that. America, we prophesied that America gonna rule these nations until it's brought down. So America gonna have that spirit on them to always make sure everybody under them until you have Bashir al-Shah bring them down. Rule of the king of the earth.
See the downfall of America now. Everybody still out there putting up the paint. They still got militaries over there and all these damn lands. Now you saying Iran bombed them shit. Now it's gonna be Iran. Russia getting involved, China getting involved, and its allies, right, destroying all the American military bases that's around the world, right, until ultimately the last military base is going to be where? Here in America.
That's what they consider ICU. But y'all, I know brothers probably seen it when Spain, I don't know if it was a true source, but Spain told America like, brother, we use y'all. Y'all got all these military bases. Y'all want to use ours? Now we good. Yeah.
A lot of these other allies in Bangladesh, they feel me, so they perfect. This is the best we can do.
That's why Elder Pastor Har always say NATO and EU, because when you go into those that beast, those seven heads, Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Spain invasion, Spain and Mine, and Great Britain, they're all gonna come up against this horde. This horde they've been carrying this horde for so long, and now this horde doing too much. Now they getting tired of thinking that she can just come around and take the ball and run off because she don't want to play no more. Things that's
That's a true horde.
yeah, she's doing too much. Like she's doing too much. Now it's like, yo, we gotta get rid of her. And they mind. Also, the scriptures say how the Most High gonna put the evil thought on Russia. In their mind, they gonna be thinking like, we destroy America, then we can create alliance with each other. But ultimately, that's gonna be the end of the world when they destroy this place, man. When they get to fight with each other, because once again, the only one who can really take America off the map is Yahweh Shah. These other countries gonna come up and fight this place, right? But when Yahweh Shah gather them in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shah is gonna be the one who really come through and wipe this place out. Gonna destroy all this. Everything we see right now is gonna be gone and destroyed. These missiles, they're gonna do damage. They're gonna do a lot. They're gonna do a lot. But Yahweh Shah gonna really come through because ultimately, physically, no one can come up against America at this point. Most High has put them in that position that they're in. Most High has put them at this top. Until you put that spirit on us to shoot those missiles to damage them. But ultimately, it's gonna start with that kingdom divided against itself. These Democrats and Republicans going head to head, things and such. A lot of these Americans let Trump know that hey, we ain't signed with you on this. We ain't want to go to. We don't want to. Because America strong with patriotism. That's what it's called. Like, they strong with when America at war. They standing with their country. Now they like, bro, we not fighting with these people for another country. Nah, we not doing it.
They trying to go over there for, but that's what's in Esau's heart, right? The conquer, right? That's what he like to do, conquer, take people's resources, right? And be that big bad bully, right? That big bad wolf, right? But ultimately, now it's done backfired on the door. They going to Iran, get a little resources, get their leaders, get out of there. But now it's taking, I ain't saying that it's not prolonged to not into his liking. I ain't trying to say, oh, yeah, it's going to be for a few weeks. Ultimately, a few weeks. And it's going to last for a few months. And ultimately, nation, right? Why the Americans, right? They hate it. What he's doing, man, they say he like it. It's like he leading us to that salvation. He leading that to Esau destruction. Right? But this is not about counting. A lot of them will be glad that things are going good over here. We like to see the downfall of this shit, man.
What do you say? Prophesize these smooth things. They don't want to hear ain't Trump doing the right thing. They want to hear, no, it's going to be big, son. Trump will sit down and such and such. They want to hear that. Yeah, they want to. Yeah, man. Trump sent out a statement. What they call something out of stimulus check in a couple weeks. Everybody gonna forget what he got going on. You know? I remember another quick point. I think you had sent it to the chat. Bezo, you was like, go get gas. Gas had to go up, and I had watched it across our video showing how Trump tried the Canada president, whatever he is, and basically like he went in there with some agenda, based trying to bully the Canada president, and whatever he, well, like I said, whatever he is, king, whatever how they got going on over there, and he basically told him like, look, you know, to buy, you know, 'cause they do it, they got 50% of the oil and like 90% of the gas coming over there. And he was like, he basically trying to drop everything and discount to 12, everything to 12%. But Trump thought like, because who America is, that pride, like, hey y'all, we gonna do this, you know, we buying it from this for y'all, but we gonna drop it down to discount. But he got up and walked out from it. And he was gonna say how now the gas prices, all these things gonna shoot skyrocket now, because you feel me? Now it's at that point to where America not only dying, is resources dying. Remember, that's how riches is, truly is the resources, and that's why he's trying to heap up to them. Even when you go into that scrape, go into the scrape, you know, China get majority of its oil from Iran, so they can't just let Iran go out no type of way. But also, they not gonna let America take that route because these other, you know, China was like one of the countries who X'd out America dollar. They create their own currency where they ain't got to deal with it. They create their own trade routes, but they ain't got to deal with America. That's one of the routes they got. Ultimately, if America or Israel trying to take over that, they don't have to deal with America or buy from. They not going for that. They ain't wanting that. Trump trying to, America trying to gain too much control because the resources you got control. You can't bomb places. They got the oil. They got this. So you basically under their footstool again. No, but they not going for that.
Implemented first, right? Like I say, it's record that China already has 50 people over there with the brain approach, right? So that's what America is trying to go in that race, right? Trying to make it catch up to the whole world. Right? They want to be able to control everybody, right? Yeah. So that's why China and America in that race to get the off our niche about.
Now America come, America try something like, man, you take this chip, you can see your citizens. You know how people gonna run from these countries that get bombed, these third world countries, try to get over into this place just to get a chip, just to fall in line. Like Esau smart, Esau know what they doing. Esau once again without KO. Esau caused chaos all around the world except for this. I was talking with my friend, and he was telling me how like we was talking about just North Korea. I ain't gonna lie, I seen a lot of North Korea, but I ain't just understand how like they don't got Wi-Fi. They don't like they got nothing. You feel me? And he was talking about how they said he got people so to see he got them things. He invented the cheeseburger.
Right. There's people in North Korea who have grown up and only known that. There's no like house. There's no social media. There's no TV. Nothing from the outside world.
Every household gotta have this image of don't get them
But
Like, I was just gonna say like one person get punished, the whole family get punished.
The person that got caught with the Bible over there, they got their I think they put everybody in prison for life. Everybody,
the whole family got
you had a Bible over there. I think the Bible.
So I'm saying like if you were trying to be a quote unquote visitor, so cameras allowed, anything like that.
You seen that video? They went over there, but he slept the camera on that shit. He recorded everything.
they see it.
He said, "What? I seen it. I went on the page video, but the camera he used, it was blurry.
Yeah, he must have.
It was blurry, but yeah, he slept the camera over there. It was blurry as hell. I guess it was that tiny ass camera.
But now, one thing I was getting at is like how, part of that deceiving is quote unquote, what's the song? Proud to be American, at least like things like that. That's one of the deceiving tactics, man. Like quote unquote, you got freedom of everything. You got law. You got things that you got rights. That's what I'm looking for. You got rights that back you up. See, the other countries they don't have no say so in their own self. Like we talk about how North Korea see. You feel me? So Trump, you see how Trump move right now. He moving like, boy, you an immigrant. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Or you can get shippy. Yeah, you can stay over here right next to us. You can be. Yeah, you go to our restaurant, you can even sit next to us. Oh, yeah, the best, Like he saw cunning, he crafty, man. He's smooth with what he do. But scripture tells us, we're not ignorant Satan devices. You gotta have the spirit. How about you? Apostle Gabar, he always said to be truly wise. You gotta be as a serpent. To be truly learn, you gotta be as a serpent. You gotta know his moves. You gotta know his tactics, so he can't trick you and deceive you up. He got everybody else to deceive us. So his moves, his ways, like we can slick. Like we're not saying these ways he gonna move, but like it'd be a coincidence he pop out, use the tactics that we speaking of, because like we in the sense of knowing, like you can't get us that type of way. You can't creep up on us and try to grab us up. Now we see you coming. We see you coming from all angles. We already seeing how you carrying yourself. You exposed and not the spirit of how about you outside on us the light. That's why what it says, "Thy eye is single." That body is full of light. Let me paraphrase. We got the light. When it goes to that deep in the night, what the scripture say, you brethren, you are not of darkness, you are children of the light. So we have that light to see the coming of his move, and we got the spirit of how about outside to see the signs and the wonders to know when this beast's gonna go down, man. To be on point. Not saying we can look, we gonna be like, oh, what missile coming right here. Nah, we just gonna be on point. Hey, how about outside can have us going somewhere? We don't even know what we doing. The whole time we look back, missiles done hit over anything, It's all the spirit.
All right. With that, hey man, Lord will, this camp was edifying. So next time we got to close out. I give him all praise, all honor, all glory, all God. Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, God bless. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone, Shalom, and Shalom to those who live.
Shalom.